solution of the third science worksheet talking about photosynthesis. Photosynthesis is the food making process that happens in green plants. How plants make their own food. Plants collect different things needed for photosynthesis from their environment. They take water from the soil, carbon dioxide from the air, sunlight energy. They put them together to cook and make their food, which is a kind of sugar. Let's start with the first question of this worksheet. In this worksheet, talking about the first lesson. In the first lesson, we spoke about the three different ways or patterns of nutrition in plants. Plants follow three different ways to get the food they need to make the needed energy. Green plants go through photosynthesis. Symbiotic plants go through different relationships with other organisms. Carnivorous plants consume animals. The oxpecker bird, showing in the figure right here, lives on zebras, nourishing itself by eating the bugs and parasites on the animal. The bird benefits by having an available source of food, and the zebra benefits from having the bugs removed, so both organisms benefit from this relationship. Refer to the text to choose the correct answer. Okay, both the oxpecker and the zebra are they producers, consumers, or symbiotic animals? For sure they are not producers, since as we said green plants are almost the only producers, since they go through photosynthesis to produce their food. Consumers, let's see. So they said oxpeckers eat bugs and parasites. Eating means consuming, so yes, the oxpecker X is a consumer. What about the zebra? As you all know, zebras feed on plants, on herbs. So yes, they eat plants, so they are consumers. So this is the correct answer. They are not symbiotic animals, since they don't need each other to find food. Oxpeckers are plant eaters, meat eaters, zebras eaters. What do oxpeckers eat? They eat the bugs, which are parasites on the animal's body, so they are meat eaters. They eat animals. The type of the relationship between these two organisms is mutualism, commensalism, or parasitism. So as we saw, both organisms benefit from this relationship. The bird benefits by having or by finding food. The zebra gets bugs removed. So both benefit. It's a mutualistic relationship. In this relationship, both organisms benefit. In commensalism, one organism benefits, the other one does not care. In parasitism, one organism is happy, the second one is harmed, is sad. So in this case, it's a mutualistic relationship. Observe the plant's food making process diagram, then answer the question. The food making process is shown in this diagram, in this picture. Give the name of the process. What do we call the food making process happening in green plants? Photosynthesis. Okay. List 3 plants needs to go this process. What do plants need to go this process? If you observe the figure, you can find them directly. Water, H2O, carbon dioxide, CO2, and light energy. So I will write water, carbon dioxide, and sunlight energy. Indicate the gas that plants release while making their food. Plants take water, they absorb water from the soil through their roots. They absorb carbon dioxide from the air through the tiny openings called stomata in the leaves. They use the chlorophyll that makes them green to catch sunlight energy. They put all of these together. Actually, they use the energy to combine, to mix carbon dioxide and water. They will get their food and they will release the oxygen gas, the O2 gas, to the outside. So the oxygen right here is released to the outside during this process. Indicate if this process happens in the leaves or roots of the plants. So leaves catch sunlight energy, leaves absorb carbon dioxide, and this process happens in the green part of the plant, which are the leaves. So this process happens in the plant's leaves. The leaves are the kitchens. Third question. Observe the following diagram. We have three different flasks. Flask 1, 2, and 3. In flasks 1 and 3, we have two plants. One of them is in the light, the second one is in the dark. In the middle, in flask number 2, we have a mouse eating cheese. Complete the following sentences with the correct words. Let's see. The mouse in flask number 2 breathe in. What do we breathe? What do we all as organisms breathe in? We breathe in oxygen. We take in oxygen. And we breathe out which gas? Carbon dioxide. So this is respiration. This is the breathing process. So the mouth take in oxygen and breathe out carbon dioxide. The plant in flask number 1 uses to make its food. Which gas is used by the plant to make its food? And they're telling us that this gas is exhaled by the mouse, is released by the mouse. So as we saw, the mouse exhales CO2, and this CO2 is taken by the plant to make the food. Plant 1 goes through the food making process called, again, it's the photosynthesis process. So plants go through photosynthesis to make their own food. Underline the correct statement. Both photosynthesis and respiration happen in flask 1. This is true. Plants can breathe. Plants make photosynthesis. So in flask number 1, yes, both processes happen. The mouse goes through photosynthesis to make its own food. So animals do not go through photosynthesis. This statement is wrong. This is the wrong statement that we are looking for. The plant in flask 3 takes in oxygen. Actually, this plant is in the dark. It's not absorbing carbon dioxide because it's not going through the photosynthesis, because photosynthesis needs sunlight. Determine the process that can be done by plant in flask 3. This plant, as I said, can't make or can go through photosynthesis because, so they're telling us to determine. Each time you determine an answer, you have to explain it and to justify it, because it's in the dark and photosynthesis needs light energy to be done. It does not happen in the dark. plant in class number 3 is in the dark, it can't go through photosynthesis since photosynthesis needs light energy. Okay. Use the diagram below to write the photosynthesis equation. We don't need any diagram to write the photosynthesis equation. You know now that for making photosynthesis, plants need two things: water and carbon dioxide. The plant put them together and use the plant puts them together and uses sunlight energy to make its own food, which is a kind of sugar, and it releases oxygen gas. Okay, again, the plant puts water and carbon dioxide together. It uses the sunlight energy to mix them. The plant will get sugar and releases oxygen to the outside.